Welcome, this is Bridge Maps with Steve. I'm a bridge learner using maps to capture, understand, and apply what I'm learning about the game. In this series, I'll share them. Maybe they'll help you too. Today's topic is the most important rule in bridge, the rule of thinking. The rule of thinking is essentially this: don't react, think. Bridge can be complex, in-depth, overwhelming, and stress-inducing, particularly when you're under pressure, which is a lot of the time, and a lot more of the time when you're just a beginner. The rule of thinking matters because it will help you deal with pressure, keep you out of trouble, and help you to make good decisions intentionally. The core idea is that before you act, pause, assess, and think. Then act with purpose. Before you make any call, any bid, any play, particularly under pressure or when you're not sure what to do, ask yourself, what am I trying to accomplish? That single question can change everything for the better. This can be during bidding, planning play, during play, and in defense. You have to think, are you opening? Are you competing? Are you responding? Are you rebidding? Are you overcalling, advancing, or defending? Or are you vulnerable? These are all conditions that affect what decision you should make. The rule of thinking is your friend. Rely on it to help keep you in the best play possible. If you can pause, plan, and think, you can have better control over the outcome of your play. This is an example of the map I've built for the rule of the thinking. So the rule of thinking to pause, assess, and act. So there's several steps to it. Pause and think, stop, count, plan, play. And I'm going to walk through all the steps here. First one being the process over outcome. So think, even if it's wrong, take a moment to think. You may not come up with the best solution, but you'll come up with a solution. So not thinking first is a real mistake. Your judgment will improve with experience, and also your concentration and your focus matter. So process over outcome. Don't always worry about whether you are successful. Think about how you got there, and over time you'll get better and better. Next, bridge is situational. Context matters. There are no absolutes, only better decisions, and knowledge supports thinking. So it's very situational based on the hands that are being played, the cards that are being played or bid. So you can't always apply hard, fast rules. And that's why the rule of thinking is the most important rule, because you need to take a moment and assess where you are, what's going on, what did your partner do, what do the defenders do. So it's very, very situational, and don't rely on absolutes. Next, always be thinking. So what do we mean by always be thinking? You always got to be thinking about your hand. You also need to be thinking about your partner's hand, and you need to be thinking about your opponent's hands. As a beginner and new to the game, it's challenging enough to consider your own hand, how many points you have, what your shape is, are you balanced, how many trumps you have, what's your long side suit, all those various things. But at the same time, you need to be thinking about your partner's hand. What does he or she have? And you also need to be thinking about your opponent's hands. So always be thinking about all of the hands, not just your own hand. Next, you also need to always be counting. What we mean by that, you need to be counting your trumps. That's the primary. Well, you need to count your points, how many points you have, how many points your partner is showing, etc. But big focus is when you're playing his suit to count your trumps. And the key about that, how many do you have and how many are out. So, and you need to keep track of how many are out as you're playing. So always be counting your trumps and your opponent's trumps. And also you got to be counting your side suits. Again, this becomes challenging, particularly as I said before, as a beginner, to not just keep track of one suit, but you need to keep track of other suits. Primarily your long side suit is the one you're going to be tracking, because that's oftentimes how you're going to make up more winners or dump losers, for example. Always be counting, and also the points shown. So what was shown by the opponent's bids. That gives you an idea of how many points they have and where, for example, might their queen be. So always be counting. Next, from bidding. When you're bidding, are you competing? Are you inviting? Are you preempting? Are you forcing? And are you describing? And if you're describing, are you describing your shape or are you describing your strength? So you always need to be thinking about your bidding. Next, as declarer, you also need to be thinking, where are my extra tricks? What is the safest, where is the safest line? Where is the danger hand? What is my backup plan? Do I have a backup plan? Why don't I have a backup plan? What happens if I lose the finesse? What happens if the split is 3-0 instead of 2-1, for example? So you have to have all those contingencies in mind. So always be asking yourself after each play, after each situation, each condition, these conditions, these situations. Also in defense, you need to be asking, what is my best opening lead? Oftentimes in defense, that's the main determinant of whether you're going to set the declarer, is making the best opening leads from the various options that are available. Did my opponent bid? What did they bid? Why didn't they bid? What did the declarer and the dummy bid? So what suits left that I could bid, etc. So what's the best opening lead? Why did my opponent lead a suit? All right, during play. And also in defense, should I be passive or aggressive? Is the dummy on the right? Is the dummy on the left? You know, what should I do? Am I showing count? Am I showing strength, etc. to my partner? So in defense, ask yourself these things. Also ask, what is the declarer trying to set up? How might I disrupt whatever they're trying to set up? Does a dummy have a long side suit, etc.? All these things. Ask yourself these things during play and during bidding. So what you really want to do is you want to make thinking a habit. I'll expand the entire map here so you can see it, and I will also include a copy of it as a PDF in the description. So this is just a brief map that helps me go back to and refer and recall and understand the rule of thinking. Here's an example of the rule of thinking where I didn't apply it and where I should have. So this is a hand I actually played, and I was in the west, my partner was the east and was the opener. Here you see what the hand laydown was and how the bidding went. It was opened one club, a pass by south, I bid a heart, my partner bid 2-no trump, and I went immediately to 3-no trump, and that was a contract. We actually made it. Actually, we did better than making it, but let me break it down a little bit further. So here in the east, partner opens with one club, showing me 3 clubs and 12 to 21 points, and no 5-card major. South passed, and then west myself. I had 4 hearts, and I also had 15 points, but I showed my 4 hearts by bidding 1 heart. North passed, and then my partner, the opener, rebid 2-no trump. I got pretty excited when he bid 2-no trump because I knew we had the points for game, and I immediately went to 3-no trump. I reacted. That was the wrong bid. My partner, with the 2-no trump bid, was actually showing me 18 to 19 points. Turns out he had 18. He was also showing me he was balanced. I had 15 points. With my partner's 18 and my 15, we had a total of 33 points. So a 3-no trump was the wrong bid. We should have explored slam by going to a quantitative 4-no trump. So we did very well. You know, we made 6. We made a mini slam, and so did some others, but nobody bid the mini slam. If we would have bid the mini slam, if I would have paused, assessed, thought, and then acted with purpose, knowing all the information I had at hand, then we could have bid to mini slam, made mini slam, and done better than the rest of the tables. So the lesson learned is don't react, pause and think, and then act with purpose. Your bridge game improves when thinking becomes a habit. So don't just react. Pause and think. your partner will thank you too. Thank you for joining me. I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you next time.